Closed captioning for The Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today I visit the Lowville Rockets concession stand. Unbelievable homemade food. I also prepare shepherd's pie and apple crumble. But first, the horror films that give Chris Yambar the shivers. It will give you shivers. He gives me the shivers. It's exciting to be in the presence of Chris Yambar.
Wow.
Shivers is the name of his latest show here at the Soap Gallery, running through October. And it is the season for Halloween, and you really went full out horror.
Absolutely.
Is that what your favorite genre?
Well, it's one of my favorite genres, but I decided to go with horror and take it clear back to the old silent films and work my way up to the most modern would be Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Rocky Horror, love that. And you got Tim Curry here. I love him. Barnabas Collins, he's right over your shoulder.
Yep.
I ran home from school every night to make sure that I did not miss Dark Shadows. But the scariest of all would be Mr. Yambar. That is a great picture of you. Who took that?
This picture was taken by Elaine Manisekis. And she's awesome.
Were you trying to be frightening, or was this
that's just me. You know what's
playing
funny?
the guitar?
Yeah, I don't play guitar. I just pose with one. Curse of the Werewolf was the only werewolf film that Hammer Films ever made. Now, Hammer Films were famous for the Dracula films with Peter Cushing, and they were famous for the a million different Frankenstein takes. Okay, but this was the only werewolf film they ever made, and it's run away, I think, hand over fist or hand over fang.
Okay.
Way better than the American Wolfman.
And this one,
that is from the Man Who Laughs. And he was actually the hero of the film. Okay, he was actually scarred by a king who was jealous because the king's love interest was in love with him. So he cut his mouth up and threw him into the wilderness to die.
Now, who is the Golem?
The Golem was an inanimate life form fashioned out of clay, a giant defender of the Jewish people. Now, oddly enough, the movie The Golem, the silent movie, shows that it was made by German expressionists. Okay, so it was the German take on the mystical aspects and what they considered magical aspects of and mythology of the Jewish people.
And Lily Munster.
There's the lighter side. And she's designed. These images are designed to look like old black and white television that's been colorized. Okay, that's why it's got the streaks and the whole entire bit. Because look, we all watched black and white.
So
TV.
if I had 3D glasses on, this would move?
No.
Oh. Okay.
But it looks like 3D.
And then your homage to your favorite beverage?
Absolutely, one of my favorite beverages. Absolutely.
And then Lon Chaney. I mean, he's got to be up there. Lon Chaney.
He's in the show a couple times. But the family opera, the real family opera, not that beautiful singing. Oh, shut up.
So this is one of your all-time favorite movies.
Nosferatu. Yeah, this is actually what Dracula was supposed to be. This actually came out, I don't know, like 20-some years more, about 20-some years before the Bela Lugosi Dracula. See, that's all romanticized. You know, the Bela Lugosi, it's clean, and Bela Lugosi never really shows fangs. Plan 9 from Outer Space, an Ed Wood Jr. film. That was supposed to be one of the worst films ever made, and it's actually one of the most fun films ever made, and it has incredible style.
And Blackula.
Blackula. Yeah.
Another one of your favorites.
They had two Blackula movies. There's Blackula and Scream Blackula Scream. Okay, where they brought him back from the life. It's more of a voodoo film, sort of, but it's the first black vampire. I love Tim Curry.
So do I. I mean, and this is, you know, an annual tradition. I try to watch this movie in October every year.
Get better, Tim, please, if it's possible. Thank you for everything you've done in cinema. We appreciate it. We love you, man. It's true. And there's the Metropolis robot.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Yep. This is a woman who's being merged with a robot. Okay, and she becomes an Antichrist figure in a futuristic, industrial world, and she's leading the workers up against the surface world and the hierarchy that's there. It's one of the most intense films ever made. It's one of the best science fiction films. If you don't tell me about Star Wars and don't tell me about science fiction if you have not watched Metropolis.
So I like that you're going smaller.
16 by 20. So, and I try to keep the prices affordable so the average person could put it on their Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or cash.
And cash.
As Gene would say, cash. Yeah. And you know, but I think that's important. And by the way, if you buy the Soap Gallery, they're $150 cheaper than what they are online.
Oh, so, and well, how late is the show running?
Until November the 2nd.
Okay, so you've got through November 2nd to do some Christmas shopping. But I also want to mention that you are sponsored by Monster Energy Drink.
How appropriate is that?
I mean, look at that. Chris Yambar now has corporate sponsorship. What do we have to look forward to? What's your next?
I'm going to teach you. I may teach you, depending on how things go with Monster. I may have to teach you how to cook with Monster.
I would love that.
How about that? Cooking with a monster. Stay tuned.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavors. Well, autumn is in the air, and I am here with Rue, the dude from the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. And man, this is one of my favorite seasons, and you guys have got it going on.
Yes, we do. You know, when the seasons change, so does our menu change. So these are some of our new menu options we have here. These are our flatbreads. This is actually our smoked kibasi sandwich with some kibasi from Lightner's and Struthers, pierogies from the pierogi lady. And then this is our Caddy mac and cheese over here. So just some new items here, some new drink menu items for the fall to keep you warm during the cold days.
And we've got these huge screens. You've really expanded your coverage.
Yes. We added about 5 70-inch TVs. We got the NFL Sunday Ticket. So we'll have every game, Buckeyes, Browns, everything.
I'll tell you, this is your fall headquarters. Come on down to the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery.
Buddy knows. For new floors, shop the Floor Store of Ohio. Choose from flooring that's Buddy safe, Buddy approved, and made in Ohio. Plus, take up to 24 months to pay, interest-free. Better brands, even better prices. You've got a Buddy at the Floor Store of Ohio.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bernard. I've been giving the people of our valley free advice for over 30 years, and my message has never changed. If you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, don't try to handle it yourself. Call a lawyer. A lawyer will be your representative, dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the red tape that you may face. Hiring a lawyer doesn't mean you'll end up in court, and remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases.
That's good advice. Need a lawyer? Learn more at ElizabethBernardLaw.com.
Mayflower Woolham is your full-service, independent insurance agency. We work with several insurance companies to offer you choices for your insurance needs. We'll find the right product at the right price. Personal, business, farm, life. Trust Mayflower Woolham. You focus on what's important, we'll take care of the details. Mayflower Woolham, close by with 3 locations to serve you.
Rulli Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old World Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Is it time to update your color style? R&S Paint will assist you with your choice of over 3,400 Benjamin Moore colors. Vibrant, durable, and easy to apply. Be current, be stylish. Shop R&S Paint.
I've been testing these and tasting these, and I think I've got it down. I'm gonna make a dessert, which you are going to love, my Irish apple crumble with oats. It's actually kind of healthy. And you're going to love my shepherd's pie. For this recipe, you'll need 2 large russet potatoes, peeled and quartered, 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 1/4 cup milk, 1/2 cup shredded sharp cheddar, 2 stalks of celery chopped, 1 small onion diced, 2 medium carrots diced, 2 cloves of minced garlic, 1 teaspoon of fresh thyme chopped, 1 teaspoon of fresh rosemary chopped, 1 pound of ground beef or 1 pound of ground lamb or half of each, 1/4 cup of tomato paste, 2 teaspoons of flour, 1/2 cup of red wine and 1/2 cup of beef stock, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and 1/2 cup of fresh parsley chopped. So I am boiling the potatoes right now in salted water, and I'm gonna wait until they're fork tender. But in the meanwhile, I am going to get the bottom layer going. And I've melted the 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to add my vegetables. I'm going to add some celery and the onion, the garlic, and the fresh herbs. There they are. The thyme. It sounded like Jamie Oliver there. I called him herbs, not herbs. And what I'm going to do is just cook these down until they're softened. It'll be about 5 or 10 minutes. Now I am going to add the beef. So we're going to cook this down until it is no longer pink. Now I'm going to add these tomato paste, the Worcestershire, the red wine. If you don't want to use red wine, you can also just substitute it for a full cup of beef stock. And now we will cook this for a couple minutes. It has a good flavor. But I always think a little salt in the meat brings out that flavor. So I'm doing about a teaspoon. And then a couple grinds of pepper. And I'm sure, yeah, perfect. So I cooked the potatoes until they were fork tender in salted water, and now I'm going to mash them without anything on them. So we'll just mash them and get them all broken up. And then the milk, I added the 4 tablespoons of butter, milk and butter, and I'll add this to, and last but not least, this beautiful cheddar. Make sure you get it shredded because you want it to evenly distribute, and then stir it. You don't want to mash that in. And you can make it in a 9x13. So just put a couple dollops all over the top. And I've already preheated the oven to 375. We're gonna put this in for about 30 minutes. Now this particular dish that I'm about to make can be made with any seasonal fruit, but apples are always in season. So we're going to go with apples. For the filling of this recipe, you'll need 3 cups of peeled, cored, and chunked baking apples. Granny Smith, Braeburn, Golden Delicious, about 3 or 4. 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and the juice from 1 lemon. For the crumble, you'll need 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cup old-fashioned oats, 3/4 cup brown sugar, 1 cup of cold unsalted butter cut into pieces, and 1/4 cup chopped pecans. I've already prepared. It is a 9x11 pan, and I'm gonna add the chunked apples and the brown sugar. We'll break that up. The flour and the lemon juice. All right, and all we're gonna do is mix this up. Now, this one takes a little bit of work. I am going to have to take my ring off for this one. We are going to add the brown sugar, the flour in no particular order, the old-fashioned oats, not the quick cooking oats, and all this butter, because you know how those Irish love their butter. Make sure that butter's chilled. Is you just keep, with the warmth of your hand, pressing everything together and making sure you combine all the dry ingredients. And what we're gonna do is just break it off and just evenly distribute this along the top of the apples. And now I chopped some pecans. Now this isn't necessary, but I just like nuts on this stuff. I think it's good. And again, the oven is at 375, and I'll put it in for 30 to 40 minutes. Start checking it at 30. Well, these came out of the oven about the same time, and of course you have to have a resting period. But boy, these are two one-pot meal and a one-pot dessert. What do you think, Jelaine, of the shepherd's pie? I know you're not a big fan.
I know, but this is the best I've ever eaten.
Really?
It really, really is.
And you know what? I pulled out the heart because we need to wash it down with some nice Irish beer. What do you think?
Sláinte.
Sláinte. See what a nice
that is
palate
nice.
cleanser that is?
It is.
It's there.
This is
Celebrate
just
the
like
high
Ireland.
holiday. Yeah, just like being in Ireland.
Yes.
Go to my website, caseymalonесhow.com, and the recipes for both of these are there. Cheers, Jelaine.
Nostalgia.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Catullo, and I'm the owner of Catullo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. And when someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, that's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
There's a new standard in assisted living.
One that combines comfort, luxury, convenience, and the highest quality expert care.
Your loved ones can experience it now in Canfield's premier senior living location.
The Inn at Ironwood offers fine dining and amenities such as a concierge, salon, housekeeping, and laundry services.
And a truly elegant setting in Canfield.
Call us for more information or visit us and take a tour.
The Inn at Ironwood, Canfield's premier senior living location.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
I personally feel that Forever Mark is the best because only 1% of diamonds can even become a Forever Mark diamond.
Diamonds take millions of years to be formed in the ground, and it's not very pretty. Once you get to that inner core of the diamond, it really can give beauty and light.
Forever Mark goes beyond the technical qualities of the 4 C's. They hand-pick diamonds that are truly beautiful.
Get real, get Kamara. Buddy knows. For new floors, shop the Floor Store of Ohio. Choose from flooring that's Buddy safe, Buddy approved, and made in Ohio. Plus, take up to 24 months to pay, interest-free. Better brands, even better prices. You've got a Buddy at the Floor Store of Ohio.
Well, today I am excited to turn you on to one of my favorite new dining places. I mean, just look at this menu. Homemade wedding soup, homemade sauce and meatballs with cavatel. They've got chicken parmesan sandwiches, fresh cut French fries, fried bologna. Where do you think I'm talking about? Lowville Stadium. That's right. This is the concession stand right here for the Lowville Rockets. And these boosters, man, I'll tell you, they make some great money for the Booster Club, and they are serving up fresh made Italian favorites. I had no idea that the concession stand here was so good. Now, did you go to Lowville?
I did not go to Lowville, but my kids go there, and I have one that just graduated in 2018.
So you are in charge of all the concessions today?
Yes.
This
every
year?
week, every week.
And, I mean, this is really a project. It is. How many women and men get together to get this homemade wedding soup together?
We have a lot of help, and we have wonderful help from everybody. I mean, I can't.
You're getting all choked up. Oh my gosh, it is. I mean,
I couldn't do this without all of these girls and the men behind the scenes too.
And do you ever get people that just show up and have dinner and they're not really here to watch the football game?
We have that happen all the time.
All right, one of my most favorite things in the entire universe has got to be a fried bologna sandwich. April, when you get a loaded fried bologna, what all goes on it?
Mozzarella cheese and hot peppers.
And how many do you usually make on a game night?
Between 40 and 50.
I love the fried bologna. Keisha, order up. We need some cavatel.
We're going to do a cavatelli in this beautiful white styrofoam bowl.
It is a beautiful white bowl.
Isn't it gorgeous? So we're going to put a nice spoonful in. Maybe I'll even be nice and put two.
Okay. Very generous.
Isn't it so generous? Okay, so we're going to put also 2 meatballs, a little smidgen of sauce, and then we serve it up with a beautiful fork. And if you're sweet, you'll get a tissue too, or a napkin.
So back here in the sweat box, we have got Jeanette and Jamie. Now these are fresh cut fries. And I said to Jeanette, well, why are you peeling them? And you guys are still working for perfection. Yes. So do you think they're better when you peel them?
Better. I think they're much better. You know, when they have the peels on them, it seems like they get soggy really fast. And these ones stay a little bit more crisp longer.
Jamie, are you getting all this knowledge from Jeanette?
I'm learning every week.
Oh my gosh. Kudos to you. I think there's an order up. All right, we got some JV players here. You are Taylor. All right, Taylor. What is one of your favorite foods from the concession stand?
Pizza.
You like the pizza? Do we have any wedding soup people here? Who eats the wedding soup?
I don't eat the wedding soup.
What do you eat?
Wedding soup.
You do. And what is your name?
Ethan.
Okay, Ethan moves to the top of the class. Who's eating the fried bologna sandwiches?
Not me.
What are you guys doing? You guys are killing me.
Those too.
You do? Okay, you are my new favorite rocket. What do you eat?
Pizza.
Pizza. All right. You guys got to go. Coach is taking you. Okay, well, give it a try.
Okay.
Well, Jennifer Johnson is my third cousin through marriage, and she is born and raised, grew up right here in Lowville, and I ran into her parents, Bobby and Joanne Coppola, the other night, and they're telling me about the wedding soup and all this delicious food. I said, I've got to get down here. And I had no idea that this really is a tradition down here. Yes. I thought this was new to Lowville. So growing up and going to school here, your parents obviously had to volunteer and do all this stuff at the concessions.
Oh yeah, I graduated 25 years ago from Lowville. My dad graduated from Lowville over 50 years ago. And as long as I remember being in school, they used to call it the Hard Rocket Cafe. and they served wedding soup and cavatelles and meatballs, and it was really something special. And it was always volunteers, just parents and different generations of people would take it over. Now we're the new generation of people that are making sure that the traditions continue to be carried on for our kids. My son goes to school here. A lot of us, our kids now go to school here, so it's something that we want to make sure continues, and we hope somebody takes it over after us.
Well, I like to call I guess you're my second cousin now. You're second cousin by marriage. We're the outlaws of the family. And I like to call you the godfather of Lowville, because you know what's going on. You know, with the Mount Carmel Society. You were born and raised here.
Right. You got that right.
And you've lived here your whole life.
I'm going to die here. I'm not leaving.
Well, not soon.
Not soon. No, not soon.
But I've got to tell you, when watching the kids come out on the field and the national anthem and the fight song, this is like a script. It is an idyllic little small town America. It really is.
But we eat good, and we like it. We like it. Very, like I say, people, they don't get the concept of the small town, because it's crazy. Because when I was in high school, same with these kids, when you're in the 6th, 7th grade, you're walking around with the seniors because it's all one school.
Exactly.
So everybody knows everybody. There's a little so-and-so, and then the kids remember that, and they know all the seniors or juniors and everything. So it's fun. It's fun growing up in this town.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.